From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen, and proudly welcoming you into this Tuesday's edition of For the People on an October the 10th, 2017. It is our second hour, and for you, it might just be the first hour, but we are so thrilled that you tuned us in, and it's your daily infusion of common sense and rational discussion. It's hard to find a really good conversation. I'll never forget a lady who called in one time to a talk show that I was doing in the Tampa Bay market, and she says, Keith, I just want to have an intelligent conversation today. And I thought it's really hard sometime to be able to find that in the minutia of just the news media and stuff that's, propagated out on the news and what they want you to hear, rather than, okay, here are the headlines, and let's look at it together. Right? And not trying to really hype things up, but this is what's happening, and have a rational conversation. Not a crazy conversation, a rational conversation. Where we're not yelling at each other, screaming. That drives me nuts. You ever listen to a radio show where they're just yelling and screaming at their callers? I hate that. I'll just turn it off immediately. It's just definitely not my speed. I don't think it's funny. I think it's rude. I think it's obnoxious. That's one of the reasons why people can't talk to each other, because of that. And if that's how you get ratings, well, good luck with that. The Las Vegas shooter has got people scratching their head a little bit, but we're learning a little bit more this week about the timeline, because it's drastically altered. And according to experts, confusion is reigning right now. We're learning that a security guard was shot in the leg by the alleged shooter, Stephen Paddock, before he fired on the crowd. That's what we're learning this week. Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo, who has done a magnificent job leading law enforcement in this investigation, said yesterday that hotel security guard Jesus Campos was shot in the leg by Stephen Paddock before the shooting rampage, and not during it, as previously reported. Campos was checking out an alert for an open door. There was an alarm going off on the 32nd floor. Now, as you can probably recall, there's security cameras that were put outside to monitor the situation outside, because Paddock didn't want to be interfered with. He wanted to be able to carry out this massacre without interruption. And so Campos, when he was checking for this open door, he ended up getting shot, and then was able to alert other security, and that's where they found out where the shooting was coming from the 32nd floor. So because of him coming to check out this alarm, they were able to find Paddock a lot sooner. Had this altercation not taken place, it was a godsend. It was a godsend, clearly.
Every piece of information we get is one more piece of the puzzle in this case. And currently, we do not believe there is one particular event in the suspect's life for us to key on. I am frustrated at the speed of this investigation. Yes, I am. It isn't because nobody is not doing their job. It's because this individual purposely hid his actions leading up to this event, and it is difficult for us to find the answers to those actions.
Now, Campos, who got shot, he's been credited by many, as to helping to stop the shooting spree. But Lombardo said authorities do not know why Paddock allegedly stopped shooting. They have no idea why he stopped shooting and then just shot himself, because he could have just kept on shooting and killed and injured a whole lot more. If it wasn't already bad, the numbers already at 58 dead and over 500 plus injured. But they say he could have just kept on. He had plenty of ammo left. It wasn't that. He could have just kept at it. But what stopped him, we don't know. Maybe he feared after the altercation with the security officer that he was going to be checked on, and knew that his time was short and knew that they were to come and shoot him, so he shot himself. That would be the only theory. That's me playing detective. I mean, why else? The guy's already done it, or do you think he had a moment of, oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh, Lord, and came to his senses. Now, what's being thrown around now is that the medicine that he was on, anti-anxiety medicine, may have invoked the rage. May have invoked it. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I'm going by what the initial pundits were saying and what a lot of the shrinks are saying, that this guy premeditated all of this. This guy, bag after bag, transported the stuff up there, was taking the place out, and the guy was loaded to the gill. The moment of rage? Come on. He brought the guns up there just to sit on them or just to polish his guns, and then he took his anti-anxiety medicine and started blowing out the windows and shooting at the crowd below. Give me a break. Nice try. It's just people trying to explain what the hell happened inside this guy's brain, but you're not going to believe. You're not going to get me to believe that was the trigger, the main reason. It's the anti-anxiety medicine. There's a lot of people that take anti-anxiety medications and they're not doing this kind of crap. There's people that do have fits of rage. People do some stupid things when they're on medication. Absolutely. But this is not the case here. It's just Boulder Dash. Don't buy into it. Somebody's trying to tell you this. When you hear that, just please shut it off and realize it's just ridiculous. This guy was very, very calculative. Most people that knew him said he was super intelligent. The guy was a multimillionaire. And, what set this guy off in his mind? He has hid the motive from authorities. He thought that through even too, according to the experts. He's not wanting to be figured out. He wants people to be guessing. And that's all people are doing right now. And that's what's frustrating the sheriff right now. Frustrating people. Frustrating the families. Trying to figure out why in the world somebody in his right mind would do that. Maybe he wasn't in his right mind. My theory is that this guy was just down on his luck and was done living. He was frustrated, probably with the political climate of our country. Yeah, they did rule out the illness, that the guy had a prognosis that he wasn't going to live. An autopsy's been done to the body, and there's no indication that this guy was dying from cancer, brain tumor, or anything like that. Wasn't one? Yeah, because that's a good question. Was it health? Was the girlfriend going to leave him? Did he discover that the guy, or himself, he realized he was such an idiot, abusive, that he just decided, I'm just going to end it all, and then everybody else is going to come with me. Only an individual can know what's in another guy's head. I mean, unless they can take this guy's brains and be able to swipe it and be able to get his thoughts extracted from a dead brain. I don't think there's any technology that's going to be able to do that. Not at all. This guy was just apparently frustrated at something, angry at something. That was pure hate. That was pure evil to do this to a fellow human being and to perfect strangers, people you didn't even know. And apparently, this guy loved country music. So as the country music was going, and Jason Aldean was there on the stage and everybody was jamming out, enjoying it, where people were having a great time, turned it into the worst massacre in U.S. history. Again, it's got people scratching their heads, people very perplexed here. And the Mandalay Bay Hotel is going to have this mark on it for a long time. And Vegas at that for a long, long time. I mean, people come to Vegas for a good time. A lot of people are going to be suffering PTSD for a long, long time. But I'll say that Jesus Campos, God bless him, and glad that he was just responding, again, to a security alarm going off in the hotel. And he ventured off to find the source. And when he came across the sound of drilling, that's what alerted him to Paddock's room. And when he got close, he got gunned. He didn't get killed. He got shot in the leg. The security guard was telling investigators that Paddock was drilling, that's right, to the adjacent wall in the hallway, and most likely to install a camera or point to a rifle, but never finished the job. Lombardo said that the alarm went off was not connected to Paddock's room, but it was just a coincidence. But if you believe that there's no coincidence, it wasn't a coincidence. Maybe it was set up. We don't know. But at 9:59 p.m., Campos was shot in the leg after Paddock reportedly fired 200 shots into the hallway. Wow, 200 shots. Well, that quickly shut Campos down, but he was able to radio down to other security officers within the hotel and was able to tell what floor he was on, and again was able to come up and, of course, they blew the door down with, I don't know if they use C4 or some kind of explosive. I don't know is that too powerful, C4? But they were able to blow in. The guy was already dead. But that's the change in the timeline. And at least now they know a little bit more. But again, it's just that all-encompassing question that has eluded so many different people, and so many talk shows, television shows, and economists have tried to, again, why does anybody do anything at the end of the day? Why do criminals decide to be criminals? Some people have certainly tendencies to be more addictive to this particular behavior. I mean, this guy was reclusive. This guy was short-fused. Does that sound like anybody close to you? But does that mean necessarily because they have those tendencies or those behavior traits that they're going to be some kind of mass serial killer? I don't think so. There's plenty of people that are short-fused, but they don't go off that way. But there are people that are ticking time bombs, and you can kind of see it around you, but people can go off on a dime on somebody else, and that person needs some anger management, not like the movie, but some real counseling. And it does sound like Paddock could probably have used some professional help. Unfortunately, didn't get it. I mean, I would imagine that this guy had something loose up there. There's guns, and then there's people that have ridiculous amounts of guns. For what reason? I'm a collector, that much ammo. You can collect guns, but you don't have to have that much ammo to go in them. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's kind of screwy. Yeah, but everybody has to have a hobby, I suppose. Again, I'm not down on anybody that has guns, because certainly Second Amendment, I'm all for. But crazy people probably shouldn't have guns.